How strong is Damon now? Like, we know that Damon's the number one, but like, you know how we did the comparisons with Cole, and I don't necessarily have to go that hardcore with this one. But is he like past the Baryon mode Naruto? What are y'all thinking?
No. I don't think he is. I think Baryon Naruto at his peak is so much more faster than Damon probably would be. To where if they were to fight, I mean, that's if you take the whole Damon and his weakness seriously that Bug gave to Code. If you take that seriously, and we don't think that he's an unreliable narrator, which he probably is, if that
I don't
is
think so.
actually Damon's weakness, that you need to touch someone with his palm in order to get his ability to reflect, then if you're just massively faster than him or just stronger than him, and are good at dodging and fighting, superior to him, you should be able to deal with him pretty easily. So I think Ishiki and Naruto, Baryon mode, they're probably still above Damon. They're probably faster and stronger than him, and he won't be able to touch him as well. He might be able to get a few nicks in with his ability, but not too many.
Yeah, I kind of had that idea as well. I don't necessarily think that Damon's up there as of yet, or even like surpassing him. I think, well, first things first, I don't necessarily think that we can know for sure, but this is right here is all speculation. But I don't necessarily think that they introduced that power as of yet. I talked about this even with the unlimited code situation. I said that those levels of powers, in my personal opinion, they're probably best suited for part two of Boruto, and of course, potentially even have Boruto and Kawaki on that level as well a little bit later on after they do have the 3 years of training in a time skip. But with Damon, it's going to be real interesting to see exactly how they show us his true powers. Like, hypothetically, if there is eventually like a sparring match with Damon, which I highly doubt, mainly because I understand that Ed is a little bit defensive about showing his abilities to everybody. But hypothetically, if there was, like, who would be the guy to actually show us? Like, if there's like a training match with Boards on Kawaki, and both of them are just going all out against, or not all out because Momoshiki is probably not necessarily going to take over Boruto, but if they're using their karma seals and Damon like destroys them, which I think he probably will, that right there probably still won't even show us how strong he really is. So unless there's like a foe that's actually stronger than Damon, I don't necessarily think that we're ever going to find out specifically how strong he is in relation to like a Ishiki Otsuki, because no one right now is really going to beat him. I think if he fights anybody, he's probably just going to watch them like how he did Unlimited Code. Like, it wouldn't even really be a competition. Like, it'll just be
Yeah,
playful.
yeah, that's facts. Yeah, I don't think he's at Baryon mode either. Just like as Saran said, as far as like like speed goes, I do think that Bug is a reliable narrator. I don't think he has a reason to lie about anything. And if I'm remembering the chapter correctly, I believe that Ada was kind of annoyed. She had like a kind of annoyed face when Bug revealed his weakness on how his ability works. So I think that is plausible. Um, but as far as that goes, yeah, I don't think that he reached the power of of a Baryanimo or an Ashiki. I think if we can place him anywhere, it'd probably be like mid Jigen. I mean, not mid Jigen. I'm sorry, above Jigen, but in the middle, like in between Jigen and Ashiki. I wouldn't put him past Ashiki.
Well, for me, I think that Code, Damon, and maybe Ada are probably like Code is probably he's probably stronger than Ada, but we don't really know that so far. But he's definitely weaker than Damon. I think Damon is closer to Ishiki than he is Jigen. Um, and then like Code is closer to Jigen than he is Ishiki. And then depending on how strong we think Ada is, you can like put her either above or below Code a little bit. All
I
depends.
mean, I mean, even Damon was kind of confident against going up with Suski's too. He was like, "I'll protect you even against Osuski." So, I mean, we don't really know how strong he is, and I don't even think that he was going all out against Code. I think he was still toying around with him, like with the Hee Haw reference and stuff like that. So, who knows how strong this kid is, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I by the way, I just wanted to say I don't think that dang it. I don't think that Bug is like necessarily lying about uh Damon's weakness. He just might not 100% know.
Like the
I
full
think that he should
detail,
know yeah, I he should know something about them considering he didn't even want Damon to be awakened from the pod to begin with. That
right?
must be based on something,
Right,
not just his personality, but probably what he can do as well.
right,
He must have some type of basis as for what Damon should be able to do.
right.
It's just he might not know the whole picture.
Okay.
This is interesting because I remember last month we were essentially just trying to figure out exactly how the board to rise came up with this mistake because of course there's a scene earlier or there was like scans earlier with Damon essentially using the reflection ability without him actually touching anybody. It's 1000% possible that Bug himself probably just doesn't really know the full capabilities of Damon. I mean, the difficult part about this is because
Is Bug a
we
scientist
essentially have no
himself?
back. That's the thing. We have absolutely no backstory on Bug. We have absolutely no backstory about Bora when he was actually in this facility, and also prior to that, if he did have any sort of connection with Amado. If he did hypothetically have some sort of hardcore connection with Amado and, like, the people who actually did have, hands-on actual experience in building someone like Damon, I mean, then we could take his word for gospel, but similar thing with the Amado thing, when Amado talks about power scaling, just me personally, I don't take everything for gospel, and I think that could possibly be done for Bug. The reason why I didn't necessarily do that for Bug is because he didn't really give me any reason to be, like, not trusting of him, but this is definitely possible because we've seen for a fact that what he said already was actually wrong. I mean, it might just be like he was wrong.
I think Amado does know a little bit about power scaling though, because when he knew that Jigen was going to fight Naruto and Sasuke, and when he came to the village, he was under the assumption that Naruto and Sasuke was already dead. He didn't think they would make it out, which they wouldn't have if Naruto and Sasuke didn't do the thing that they did to actually get away, like Sasuke removing himself from battle and Jigen actually just sealing him away. So I don't know. Maybe he
Well,
is
the
kind of
thing
accurate with the
is that,
power
like,
scaling.
Amado would be correct about it
Hmm.
because
Exactly.
if Team 7 didn't come to save Naruto,
Exactly.
Naruto would have died in that seal.
Right.
Jigen implies that, he says something along the lines, "Imma seal you away for now, and I'll come back to kill you if you're not already dead by the time I come back." He says
Right.
something along those lines, meaning that the seal probably drains your chakra when you have it, and it'll drain your chakra until you're dead. So Amado would have been correct. If Team 7 never came to save Naruto, he would have died. And
Exactly.
then, um, so Jigen kind of let Sasuke go. He was like, "You can go, Sasuke, if you can leave Naruto behind." So it's like, yes,
E-
Sasuke would have died if like Jigen didn't stall.
Yeah.
So Amado was correct. He was correct.
Even without the like the
They should have died.
yeah, exactly. Even without the chakra rods, he was just gonna leave him there. He had no plans on fighting Naruto. He wanted Kawaki. He was just gonna leave him in a different dimension and just hope that he just like starved there or something like that. So I think it would have just
Mhm.
made malnutrition and something. I don't think it had nothing to do with the chakra. I mean, that's a good point though as well too. It's like it just absorbed his chakra and so he died.
I've always thought like if Naruto was sealed in that, couldn't he just like try to reverse summon himself to Mount Miyaboku?
Um,
Maybe it had something to do
he
with the
was
seal
knocked
that he was
out.
placed in. No, he was conscious. He was talking to Jigen before the seal actually like sealed or whatever. He was telling
True.
Jigen that the next time we see him or whatever, he was going to kill him. Something like that. I can't remember verbatim.
So
That's
trying
true.
to think, how would that happen? Like, so while he's talking to Jigen, he just summons a toad, and then Jigen's like,
Well, no.
no, and then like kicks the toad away. He's like, die.
Well, no. He'd essentially have to do it when he's like when obviously when Jigen's not there, and this right here is like a bigger question because obviously Naruto doesn't have time space ninjutsu. Hypothetically, we stuck in another dimension. Let's not even say ceiling because the ceiling thing could get a little bit tricky. Maybe the ceiling had like I don't know sleeping gas or something like that, and it put Naruto to sleep, and Naruto just couldn't have done it. I don't know. Let's just say he's in another dimension. Could he use a reverse summon to actually summon him to the correct dimension?